I don't think anyone out there is immune to friendships growing apart. I imagine that most people have at least one friend, or an entire friend group for that matter, where over time you've distanced yourself from them. Maybe it was because of maturity or toxicity, different interests, but a lot of the time it can really sting, or it's just awkward. Like you used to be friends with someone when you were younger, and now you see them in the hallway and you kind of awkwardly stare at each other. But when it comes to friendships growing apart, there's two ways that I look at it. And I think these ways clarify to me who my true friends are. The first way is ask yourself this. Is this friendship separating simply because of life's circumstances? Maybe you just moved, or you're going off to college, and your friends are going to a different college. You know, these things are just a part of life. And it's pretty unrealistic to expect that you and your friends will be in the same town forever. For me, my friend group is now global. We've got one guy studying history in Germany. A couple of my friends are now out west working for the government. Some people are finishing up their degrees in different cities. You know, we've all spread out due to life's circumstances. And yeah, we don't hang out every day like we used to in high school because, you know, we simply can't do that anymore. But that does not mean that we're no longer friends. And we still make the effort to play games over Discord and crack jokes in our group chat every day, right? And I know that despite the geography of where we're all at right now, it doesn't mean that we're no longer friends. And maybe you find yourself in a similar boat. Like I said, lots of people go to different schools, and you might be finding yourself with your friend group starting to distance. But ask yourself, can we still be friends with each other despite the circumstances that we find ourselves in? Or is it another reason? Because, like I said, there's two ways that I look at this. The other way is ask yourself this. Is this friendship starting to separate due to different values or maturity levels? And I think this is probably the more common scenario. Because I've definitely had a few friendships, mostly in the elementary, middle school years, where I realized that I was growing apart from my friends simply because we're just not that compatible anymore. Some people fall into different crowds, maybe they join clubs that you're not interested in, and because of that, maybe they make new friends and you don't really vibe with that crowd. And these are just a few examples, but these things compound over time. I think part of why this happens is because when you're really young, life is pretty simple, hopefully. You know, you just go to school and you have your friends and it's fun. No real responsibilities or complexities to life. But as you get older, you start having to focus on grades, maybe athletics and clubs, and then eventually what college you're going to go to, if you're going to go to college. And then after that, where you're going to live. And then after that, maybe some people start getting married. And if you are in a wildly different stage of life than some of your friends, it's really hard to make that work. A good example of this is my sister. She's a few years older than me, so she's many years into her professional career, thinking about big moving plans to a new city, making new friends, that kind of thing. But she's got a few friends who are at very different points in their lives. Some of them just want to travel and still be young, not really focus on a career at all, which is fine. There's no one correct way to live your life. But because of this, my sister is really struggling with some of them because they don't really understand her lifestyle. She's working hard to make something of herself while they want to travel, and it's difficult to reconcile that. I don't have that struggle as much personally because most of my friends have a plan and they want to create something for themselves, and we all have pretty aligned interests. But I know that I wouldn't vibe that well with someone who had a completely different outlook on life. And so in that regard, ask yourself, am I losing this friendship because we're just different people? Because that might be true, and that's okay. I know that for a while my sister didn't know what to do about some of these friends, but I think she's started to accept that it's okay that we're starting to distance. I'm focusing on my life, and if we distance ourselves because of what we want to do, that's fine. Because what you do not want to do is limit your potential because of what someone else wants to do. If you want to move out of your small town and go become something, but all of your friends just want to stay, you really need to think about what is important to you. I'm not saying one of these options is necessarily correct, nor am I saying that you should abandon all of your friends because no one wants to do anything with you. But I know that missed opportunity is a powerful thing. And you do not want to look back on your life knowing that you stunted your growth because you put other people's needs before yours. I mean, losing a friendship is hard, but losing yourself is a lot worse. Now, if that doesn't apply to you, that's great. I really hope for everyone that people can make deep, long-lasting friendships and they don't have to worry about this kind of thing. But life happens, and sometimes you find yourself in these kind of situations. I mean, friendships are really hard to maintain, so just think about all of that, and if it does apply to you, consider your life circumstances and who you want your true friends to be. All right, guys, I'll catch you later.